under citizens' comments, you need to fill out a form with the city secretary that explains the rules and regulations. You're given 3 minutes to speak. You need to police yourself, time yourself, because I'm not going to time you. I don't want any demonstrations or any hollering or clapping or anything of that nature, because most people that don't speak tonight are not used to speaking in public. It's my duty to give them an environment where they're not intimidated and they feel like they can come forward and speak their piece and speak. That's the purpose of citizen comments, so I hope you'll cooperate with me on that. Otherwise, then it's not going to be constructive and people are not going to be able to be heard. I let the city secretary call on people as they register. And if you haven't registered and you intend to speak, you need to come up right now and register with the city secretary so we have a record of your participation. Normally, as I said, I let the city secretary call on you as you have registered. However, Mr. Garcia, out of respect to you, if you would like to go first and make any comments, I will give you that privilege.
Mr. Mayor and council members, appreciate for the opportunity to address y'all today. As you know, I'm here on behalf of the Ruben Garcia family. Ruben had worked for the same company for 12 years. He had never had any criminal history in his life. On the day of this incident, he was going home from work to be with his wife and 4 children, the oldest 10, the youngest 1 year old. For some reason or other, an officer decided to pull him over. And I presume most of you have already seen the videotape and have heard the conversations in that tape. Under any circumstance, any city official, and as a former council member in Dallas, I can tell you, who used profanity with any citizen, who used racial slurs with any citizen, would be immediately terminated, just for verbal abuse. But in this case, we have not only the verbal abuse of Ruben Garcia, but then the actual shooting of an unarmed individual with his hands above his head. I don't know why this occurred. I don't know what was going through the mind of Officer Clark. I don't know if he didn't have the proper training, the proper diversity training, if he was just scared and hadn't been there long enough. But whatever the circumstances, right now, Martha Garcia and her 4 children will never see their father again. He won't be there when they graduate, when they get married, on Christmas, on Father's Day. And that's something that this council and you, Mayor, and the police chief have to address. The fact of the matter is that this unfortunately happens throughout this country too many times. And what we're asking is release the videotape. Let everybody in Louisville and everybody in America see what happened out there. Number 2, you have the decision to terminate this officer if his conduct was not becoming of a police officer and not professional. Number 3, send this case to the grand jury of Tarrant County and ask for an outside investigation by the FBI or the Texas Rangers. And let's find out what the truth is, and let's have justice for this family. That's all I ask for. Thank you.
All right, now you've already violated Rule 1. If you're here because you're interested in what people have to say, you need to respect us as a government body. We're here for citizen comments. If you want to speak and say what's on your heart, you can come up here and register and we'll give you that opportunity. A clap doesn't say anything. It doesn't gain anything. It's anti-productive, and we're not going to tolerate that. And Mr. Garcia, I hope you've been a member of the council. I hope you can respect that. Y'all didn't allow that in Dallas. So I want to be fair to you and everyone here. I want to create an environment where people feel like they can speak. And that's my duty, and I hope you'll help me.
I will. I told them not to.
To do that. I understand there's some emotion, so I'll be a little tolerant. I'll warn you another time or two if I have to. But ultimately, that will wear out, and we'll go home, and you can go home. So that's not what we want to happen. We want to hear what people have to say. Even though we can't take any action tonight, I can tell you we don't know a whole lot about the case because of the ongoing investigation. And so we have to wait until that runs its course to try to learn what really happened on that occasion. And so we'll be listening to you and what you have to say. That's your privilege. It's part of an American system, and we want the American system to work. And you want the system to work. And I know Mr. Garcia wants the system to work. So it's all work in that vein, and we'll have a good evening, and everybody can go home feeling good that they had an opportunity to speak, that they were a part of the government tonight, and they got to say what was on their mind. So thank you very much for your cooperation. Ms. Brooks, would you introduce the next speaker?
Dominique Alexander.
Excuse me.
Dominique Alexander. This ain't in my 3 minutes, is it? Okay. Look, let's not clap or whatever. One of the things I wanted to point out about Ruben Garcia, we heard the attorney say about this being a father, about this being a provider, about this being Ruben Garcia being a man and a man of God. Amen. I saw the quorum open this up with a prayer. And one of the things that said about the prayer, it wasn't praying or saying anything about the citizens. What are rights of the citizens when we sit on these panels that we are voted on? Are we afflicting or we're looking out for the better good of our citizens? Or we're going to keep on keeping the same demonstration and keeping on the same thing that's going across the country? Do Grapevine want to be known for something or shadowing over them, over their city, something like this? Clearly, where a man's rights is violated. I heard somebody say something about a store being robbed. The only store he would probably robbed if it was on the highway. If it was on the highway, but his life was robbed by one of these officers. Officer Clark. His life meant anything. He was verbally abused. And he was killed and he was shot down. All the protocols that our officers are supposed to have was violated. He wasn't tapped into a jurisdiction and didn't even let the police department of that jurisdiction know that he was even in there. We're talking about protocol that's set throughout America that he violated. Now we talk about the system. We already know that the system is broken. We already know that the system is biased. But I'm coming here to say to this panel and to this forum right here, we're going to stand up and make a bold statement and say in Grapevine, in the city of Grapevine, that we are not going to tolerate officers taking unarmed and innocent men's life and then leaving them to sink, or just their blood to just show them what's going, not even giving them the common decency. But this is the stuff that's going on. I need the city of Grapevine to make a voice, an international voice. Because guess what? In Texas, make a voice to everybody and stand up and say, we're not going to tolerate. You can lead the charge in bringing reform to police officers and standing up to these police officers, because it is a culture we're coming across. It's a culture in all police departments. I'm pretty sure he had a nice little old party and a nice little old vacation, a paid administrative leave. But who's going to be here to provide for this family? Who's going to look out for this family? That's the point. Who's going to look out for these 4 children? Their dad is gone. But he's on a paid administrative leave. I ask this one thing. Let's fire Officer Clark. 2, let's send this case over to the Tarrant County. Let's bring justice to this family, because we clearly know the video that was recorded by the citizen on the other side is clearly shows. It's clearly evidence We know it. We know all the cases. We see it. Please bring justice to this family. They need it. We need it. We're not against all cops, but we're trying to bring those bad ones out of here. We're trying to revamp the culture of policing. I know I speak to a lot of police officers, a coalition of police officers that went to Washington last week. It's the culture we're coming after. It's the culture of the policing. Now, I just ask that, and ask that the mayor and the city council please fire Officer Clark.
Thank you very much. Next.
Sarah Marcuria.
Good evening. I appreciate you all allowing for us to speak. My name is Sarah Mokuria, and I am with the organization Mothers Against Police Brutality. And the reason I'm here tonight is because, unfortunately, I feel the pain of this family. At 10 years old, I witnessed 2 officers kill my father. I've lived 22 years with that pain. And not only do I know what it feels like as a child to lose your father to police brutality, I also know that the officer, I met with the officer, one of the officers who killed my father, I know that he also lives with the pain of that decision and that choice. And so I say that right now we have a tragedy that has happened in this community, and that leaves an opportunity. The opportunity is to have justice for this family. It's an opportunity to look at the police department and see what's going on. Are there better ways to train our officers? What are the hiring practices? Those are things that the council and the mayor can start doing right now. Those are things that you can do as this investigation is open. The other thing is to restore the compact that police, you as a body of government officials, to restore the sanctity of community relationships with our government, have a transparent and open investigation of this officer. We as a community have seen from 2014 and beyond that, person after person being killed by officers in the street, hands up, all different circumstances, and yet over and over again we have non-indictments. And so we ask that Grapevine set of precedents, do this correctly, have an open and transparent investigation, release the tapes for this family. Because I was 10 years old, and I know that his journey and these kids' journeys have just begun. Can we imagine at 1 year old to have a trauma of losing your father before pre-speech, that he can't even verbalize the trauma that they have to live with now? The mother of 4. We all have people that we thankfully can go home to, hug, our loved ones. They can't do that. I can't do that. So not only for them, but for our families, so that none of you have to ever be in the position that I'm in, that they are in, that we look at the training policies of the police department of Grapevine and make sure that we are doing our due diligence to train those officers to respond in respectful ways when they are in with our community. So I'll stop there. Thank you.
Thank you. Next.
Hector Flores.
State the name again.
Hector Flores.
Is there anybody in the hall that maybe, if somebody make a call out there, see if they're here?
He's not here.
Not here?
Mr. Mayor, he had texted some of us to tell us that he was detained at a meeting in Dallas with the president of the school board at the Dallas ISD, and he is trying to get here post-haste. If you could leave him to the last.
Okay. Put his name on the bottom, we'll call it at the end.
Rico Reyes.
My name is Lico Reyes. Quiero darle mi corazón a la familia de Rubén García Villalpando. Look at these children, this family, left alone. You know, Will Tate, I've been here a long time. I built a lot of your highways when I was with the Texas Highway Department. Things in Grapevine changed, they stay the same. Honorable City Council, Mayor, staff. As a former member of the Grapevine Chamber of Commerce, and as the one who started Grapevine Fest here in Grapevine with my disco sound system and my dunk tank with Chisai Childs and Johnny High, I'm one of you. I've come back to this town. Things change, things stay the same. I was a dance partner to Lucy Cedarliff. She used to teach dancing right down here on Main Street. One day, I was taking her to a program that she had up in North Grapevine, and 2 police cars followed us, and they stopped at the parking lot where I left off Lucy and went to park. And I asked them what they were doing. They said, well, we heard that you were a suspicious individual. Things change, things stay the same. I am from Durango, Mexico. Canatlan, Durango, Mexico. My patriot of Durango was killed. I think it was insensitive. He was called, according to the news reports, an MFer. I'm not going to say the word because of where we are right now, in respect. But as a Mexican, cursing my mother is one of the worst things you can do. Cursing my God is another one of the worst things you can do. You can curse my mother and my father once. The second time, I'm going to hit you because I respect my mother and my God. I studied to be a Jesuit priest. I'm a graduate of the FBI Citizens Academy, and I'm trained by the Department of Justice, Community Relations Service. What happened here is unconscionable. A man who is supposed to honor and respect and serve cursed an unknown individual. Cursed, swore, and as Domingo said, for something like this, you dismiss people. I represent 200 and some employees of the City of Dallas. I'm a steelworker representative of public employees. Whenever a police officer or any member that works for the City of Dallas curses, they get a grievance, and a lot of times they get released from their duties. It's not proper. It's not Christian. It's not right. I believe sensitivity and diversity training should have been held for Officer Clark. I believe he should respect, serve, and protect. There's a law called the Gypsy Cop Law. I wrote it, and I gave it to Senator Royce West on his criminal justice program I served. And it says that if a cop in any jurisdiction in Texas requires or wants to go to another police department, another law enforcement agency, that agency has to do a complete open records request of his complete file. And any officer who tries to do that will probably not be admitted to the other police agency because of the bad marks on that officer's record. That's called the Gypsy Cop Law. Senator Royce West passed it into law. Mr. Clark should no longer work for the great city of Grapevine. The city of Grapevine, which I built as a construction inspector for the Texas Highway Department, and where I belong to the Chamber of Commerce, and where I used to teach dancing, and where I did Breakfast the first time, free of charge. I believe that the city of Grapevine should train their officers to shoot to wound instead of to kill. If that had been done, we probably would not be here. It would be a different scenario. I ask, secondly, that the city of Grapevine provide for this family that's here, that's left without the breadwinner of their family. Look at those children's eyes. Look at their mother. Look at the extended family. Again, thirdly, I think we should retract Officer Clark's badge, his general and special orders with the Grand Prairie Police Department. The last words that Ruben Garcia Villalpando shouted were, "Are you going to kill me, either like this or like this?" I say, let's have justice for all. God bless you. Thank you.